If you plan to use the radiosity renderer to create an accurate lighting simulation, then you need to use different light sources in your scene. Up to this point, we've been using the standard lights, and those would be appropriate for a scanline or ray traced rendering. I'm going to select all of the lights here by choosing this category, and then I'm going to make a window selection and just delete them all. That's going to turn the default lights back on because all the lights in the scene have been deleted. Now I'll go over here to the light category on the Create panel and choose Photometric from this drop-down. These lights are all physically based, meaning they get photometric data from the lighting manufacturer, and they use that data to create an accurate lighting simulation. Basically, there are three types of artificial lights that you might add into an interior: point, linear, or area. As with the standard lights, they come in two flavors: the free version or the target version. There are also sun and skylights that work with sunlight and daylight systems, both in the radiosity renderer and in Mental Ray. And we'll talk about that later on. But if you're creating an electric light source in an architectural interior, you need to choose from one of these three types. And it has to do with the geometry of the light source. If it's a point source, such as a light bulb, a linear source, such as a fluorescent tube, or an area source that actually emits light from a rectangle. And this would be good to simulate a fluorescent 2 by 4 foot lighting fixture, for example. I'll start by creating a free point light in the room. And I'll move that up so that it's not on the ground. And let's take a look at it over here in the Modify panel. It has very similar rollouts and parameters to the standard lights. You can toggle it on and off. You can change its type from point to linear to area and back again. So you don't really need to worry about which tool you create. Just be aware that the name will refer to the type that you initially created. I can make this a linear light, and we get some additional rollouts. I'll close some of these. When it is a linear light, you get a special linear light parameters rollout, which contains just one parameter, and that is the length of the light fixture. You can alter that, and you can see that this would represent a fluorescent tube, for example, and light would be emitted all along this line. It's a little bit deceptive because you see this sphere here, and it seems like maybe the light is just coming from that. But in fact, you can imagine an array of spheres all the way along that line that would be emitting light. An area light works with a rectangle, and it has its own rollout right here that you can use to set the size of that light fixture. So it's very straightforward.